All right, Turf Pros, let's get down to business. How do you buy a commercial grade zero turn for pennies on the dollar, okay? We're getting down and dirty, and I'm gonna show you how to use a little bit of finance to understand what is happening and how to correctly analyze the true cost of owning a mower. If you figure this out, you are gonna be light years ahead of your competition. I'm Jonathan. I am the owner of Florida Turf Pros. My goal on this channel is to help lawn care business owners operate profitable lawn care businesses. If you are a lawn care business owner, I'd love to have you stick around, hit like and subscribe. Regardless, this channel will be a valuable resource for you. So you see a mower like this, and this mower, $10,000, $11,000, $12,000. I am currently looking at a Scag Cheetah because we have a commercial property that is going to need us to have a mower that has a large deck and that cuts very, very fast, okay? So I am looking at a Scag Cheetah. It is a sit-down mower because it's a big, wide-open acreage area. So it's 8 acres, all right? It's a lot. But the price on that Scag Cheetah is about $17,000. And here's where a lot of guys go wrong. They look at the price of that mower and they say, $17,000, I've got to cut $17,000 worth of grass to break even, to dig myself out of a hole, And we have probably all thought that way at some time. You buy a mower and you think, a mower's $10,000. I've got to cut $10,000 worth of grass just to break even. You're looking at it from the wrong way, and I'm going to show you in this video how there's actually 3 costs. There's only 3 things you need to be concerned with whenever you're analyzing buying a mower, okay? The truth is, this works for any piece of equipment. Disclaimer, this is a slippery slope, and you can just start having a field day saying, I can justify any purchase. The truth is, there is only 3 things you need to understand to make an informed decision on purchasing any piece of equipment. Number 1, the first cost of that mower is not the purchase price. The cost of that mower is the loss in depreciation between what you bought it for and what you will eventually sell that mower for. If you buy a mower for $10,000, okay, 10 grand, and you use it for 2 to 3 years and can sell it for 6 grand, what did that mower cost you? It did not cost you $10,000. That mower cost you $4,000, okay? So that is the first concept that you need to wrap your head around, that it is not an apples to apples comparison. You have basically taken your cash, put it into an asset, okay? So you had your $10,000, you traded it for a $10,000 mower, right? That's exactly what happened. And we think to ourselves, I've got to dig myself out of a $10,000 hole. What's happening is you are valuing your cash too much. You used your cash to put it into a piece of equipment. So the first cost, the first concept you need to understand is that the cost of ownership is not the purchase price. The true cost of ownership is the purchase price minus the depreciation, that spread of what you can eventually sell it for. Number 2, the second cost of owning a piece of equipment or mower is the maintenance associated with that piece of equipment. Some mowers and trucks and different pieces of equipment, they have higher levels of maintenance, some have others, but it is an important consideration because it truly does affect the overall cost of ownership for that piece of equipment. You need to sit down and look and say, hey, is this something that can be easily maintained, or is it like a diesel truck? Is it like a diesel mower that the maintenance costs are substantially more? Take those things into consideration. Number 3, and this might not even factor into what you're doing, but it is the interest that you have to pay on that piece of equipment. Again, we are not concerned with the principal payment on that piece of equipment. We are only concerned with the interest. That is lost money. Like, the interest is lost money. A lot of people pay cash for stuff. I am of the mindset if I can get very, very low interest rates, I'd rather hold on to my cash. This is not a video on whether or not you should use your cash up or finance something. That is a completely separate topic. But the number 3 thing you've got to look at is the interest, the ongoing interest expense of having a piece of equipment. That is it. If you bought a piece of equipment for $100,000, you're not in a $100,000 hole, friend. You're not. The cost of owning that piece of equipment is the difference in what you bought it for and what you can sell it for and how much money you can make in that time period with that piece of equipment. Now, I want to tell you, this is a slippery slope, and you can start justifying all types of different purchases, and that's unwise. That's why you have to do a stress test. And here's my advice to you on doing a stress test whenever you are looking at making an equipment purchase. Ask yourself this question: does this piece of equipment, does it truly provide value for my business, additional value? And then number 2, is there a more economical alternative? And you've got to be honest with yourself on this question. Do you need a $60,000 work truck? okay? Or could you do the exact same thing with a $25,000 used work truck that is very reliable? Maybe you truly do need the 3/4 ton diesel to pull landscaping trailers, okay? But maybe you are a mowing company that can be just fine with a $25,000 V6 and run your business super efficiently. Just because you can now justify the cost of purchasing equipment because you know that it's not just a purchase price, you have to have the discipline to say, hey, is this wise, or is there a more economical option that does the same thing? Then you apply this framework to that economical option. Now you're really understanding finance. Bonus that we haven't even discussed yet, you get to take a tax deduction for this piece of equipment for your business, saving you even more money. So whether you choose to depreciate it over a number of years, or you just use the Schedule 179 and then take the deduction in the full tax year, there are tax benefits to buying equipment. We never want to buy a piece of equipment for tax savings. It's actually insane to spend $1 just to save 30 cents in taxes. That's absolute insanity, okay? But if we truly need a piece of equipment, now we understand the framework of the true cost of ownership for that piece of equipment. Next piece of equipment you gotta buy, apply that framework to it. I think it'll ease the panic and the stress you feel with buying a piece of equipment and feeling so guilty, all right? Because now you know what the true cost of ownership of that piece of machinery is. And hey, if it is ramping up your cash flow and you know that you can sell that thing at the end and it has been a good return on your investment, it gives you the confidence to feel like you know what you're doing. All right, Turf Pros, keep those mowers clean, decks level, blades sharp. I'll see y'all in the next one.